This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids. What up, everybody? This is your boy Black Vegas, and I've been watching WandaVision. Yeah, so I've actually been watching it since week 3 that it came out, because I finally decided to go ahead and get me a Disney Plus account. I've been holding off, but with some things shifting, I was able to put that into the budget really quick for now, as I work out my finances and, like everybody else, try to dig out this pandemic hole. But I decided to get Disney Plus once I saw WandaVision was there. It was just like, again, picking the timing. And I binged the first 3 episodes. And I got it like 2 days before episode 4 came out. So I watched those. So I was ready for episode 4. When episode 4 came out, I watched. And then, of course, just watched episode 5 this past Friday. And I really, really enjoy this show. The aesthetics of it, I think, are phenomenal. I love how they went through the different themes from the 50s to the 60s to the 70s to the 80s. It's funny because me and my friends speculate what the hell are they going to do for the 90s. I heard one thing thrown out was something more in the vein of like Full House, maybe. And it just also, by the way, it dawned on me in that conversation when they were talking about this that I feel like every show that they've themed themselves around is an ABC sitcom. Because, and I'm not going to give any spoilers, but the last episode, there was a particular show that I remember them doing, and I swear that shit was on ABC. Once we were starting to talk about this, like, yo, no, wait, last show was an ABC show, wasn't it? So it's really, really good. It's also really cool how they do things like aspect ratio, how as you go through the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, whatever sitcom decade that they're in, it maintains the aspect ratio of the time. So, for those who don't know what I'm talking about, it's widescreen versus 4.3 screen with the bars on the side. Basically, all TV was done at 4.3 because there were no widescreens. Everything was pretty much kind of like, more of a square or like, a slightly slimmer rectangle than normal. It wasn't as like rectangular as TVs are now. So everything just had to fit in the box. So they would always put it in 4.3. So when you saw them go through the old stuff, it was in 4.3. And then when they went to modern times, you notice a switch to widescreen aspect once it came into the real time, which I thought was very cool. And I'm trying to be as vague as possible because I don't want to spoil story stuff, but it's really cool what they do with that aspect ratio and how the differences and the nuances of how they show what they're doing in the WandaVision show, so to speak, and with how things are in reality. I thought that was a really good touch. And you see some people that you're happy to see some side characters. I saw one in particular that I forgot for a moment who they were, and then I realized who they were. It's like, oh, that's fucking cool. Uh, and it's just nuances like that. Like, Marvel is very, very good at doing those nuanced detail things and stuff that they're doing within the show. It's pretty clever. Pretty clever. And the acting is really good. What makes me happy about this is that we finally get to see Paul Bettany like actually show his chops, because I've always thought he was a really good actor. I pretty much liked him in everything I've seen him in. And Vision wasn't a huge on-screen character in the movies. He was an important element of the movies, but he wasn't really a you know dialogue on-screen focus for the most part. So it's really good to see him. And the same thing you could say pretty much about Scarlet Witch. It's like, she had her important moments in her, you know, her significant part in the scheme of all things. But I think this is what I'm going to like about these Marvel shows the most is that now you're starting to get these, I guess you could say, secondary characters to the like main Avengers, and they're getting their chances to connect more, to show more, and it fleshes out the world. It shows that how much life this world has, and I think that's going to be one of the best things about them doing all these TV shows, that they have the opportunity now, with this, with Hawkeye, with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, with Loki, and then when they introduce the newer characters who are going to be around, like She-Hulk and Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, and things like that. And they could do like they've been doing with this and weave in some of the other, like, I guess you say, quote unquote, third tier people, like the couple of characters that weren't major players or superheroes, but they were a part of that world that fleshed out the world of those movies. So stuff like that. It's going to be really, really cool to see. And it just gives it more life. I think that's one of the things that I like so much about the Marvel Universe is that it has a lot of life. And these shows are just adding more life to it. And I really, really did that. Like, I really like seeing into the deeper side of things, and I think they could go even much deeper. We came up with some ideas. Again, can't say one because it would be kind of a spoiler if you haven't watched it. So, we were chopping up ideas. And like, yeah, they can actually do some stuff like this because they have a platform like Disney Plus where they can develop shows that'll be just focused on totally this thing that could revolve around the world. It could connect things all over. So yeah, it's really, really good, really, really good. I'm excited to see what comes next. All right, so made it through without spoiling anything. Congratulations to me. Anyway, as always, you guys feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you think, and I'll holler at you later. This your boy Black Makers in the Mount. Deuces.